Hello everyone, and welcome to another Lazy Dude 99's Movie Top 5. Come along and watch my Movie Top 5. Come along with me, we'll take a dive. Better than TV, I hope I get it right. So come along and watch my Movie Top 5. Cars. Now, cars have been part of movies for a very long time. From the classic to the high-tech, to the cool to the powerhouses. And these are the top 5 cars in movie history. Now, first let me clarify something. These have to be movie cars, not TV cars that have been in movies. So no, nothing like Knight Rider is on here. So yes, with that being said, let's just dive right into the top 5 movie cars. Come along and watch my Number 5. Come along with me, we'll take a dive. Better than TV, I hope Now the Green Hornet might not have been out that long, and it came out with some mixed reviews about it, but the one thing everyone can agree on is that the Black Beauty kicks butt. It's slick design and high-tech gadgets and those lights that glow green. It was so cool. It was just the highlight of the film for me. I mean, I saw it and I was like, oh man, that is so cool. I want Kato to pimp my ride. I can't believe I just said pimp. I mean, when it can even drive after it's been cut in half, that's when you know you have one of the coolest movie cars ever. I mean, I don't think any of the other cars on this list coming up can drive after it's been cut in half. It's such a cool car, and it just pains me that it has Seth Rogen behind the wheel. I mean, a car that is that cool deserves a better driver than Seth Rogen. Oh well, at least you have Kato in there to bring up the coolness again. And so the Black Beauty from the Green Hornet. It may not look too much on the outside, but under the hood it's one of the most advanced and coolest movie cars you will ever see. The Black Beauty truly is a beautiful car.
So wicked. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's much death. Cause I've been laughing and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone.
Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me.
Where are we going?
I have no idea. I thought you knew.
Come along and watch my movie Number 4. Come along with me, we'll take a dive. Better than TV. Now this might just be a personal choice for me, but the Hannibal 8 from the movie The Great Race is the definition of a classic car while being the coolest car ever set in that time period. The story of The Great Race is simply this duel between two daredevils on a race from New York to Paris. One is the all-around nice guy, the great Leslie. The guy's car is all white, he dresses all white, and his teeth sparkle when he smiles. And his car is the Leslie Special, which you look at it and you're like, oh, that's a nice car. But then you see the car of the villain, Professor Fate. Filled with stolen parts from some of the greatest cars of that time period, the Hannibal 8 is full of surprises. Whether it be the way it can raise itself up, shoot out smoke, or even hide a mini cannon under its hood. This car is truly well ahead of its time. Although I bet they did wish that they had some suspension in their car. It is the cooler car by far, and let me just say, if you don't think that this car deserves to be on this list, well, just watch the great race and you will know what I'm talking about. All that's left to say is push that button, Max!
Oh, we can mount, we can blast, we can rise above, we are invincible! Take us down. Push the button, Max.
Number 3. Come along with me, we'll take a dive. Now, out of all of the James Bond cars that have been around throughout history, you might ask, well, why'd you choose the Aston Martin? Why don't you choose a car that can shoot out missiles or even turn invisible? Well, let me just say that sometimes class outdoes everything. It is one of the most classic movie cars you will ever find. And it also has some cool stuff under the hood. It shoots smoke screen, oil slick, machine gun, and of course the passenger ejector seat. It is cool mainly because of the person who drives it. James Bond. Sure, there have been other good Bond cars as well, but the one that everyone remembers, especially me, is the Aston Martin. Maybe it's just the way he drives it. I don't know. I don't know. But the one thing I can tell you is that the end-all, be-all of James Bond cars is the Aston Martin. Let me tell you guys, I am not that much of a car guy. I couldn't say, well, look at that piston, it has an engine and the thing and the rotor is and it has nuts and spinning wheels thing. I couldn't do that. I have no idea what people are talking about when they talk about cars. But even a guy like me, I can pick an Aston Martin out of a parking lot easily. And so, in my mind, there is no car in movie history that has as much class as the Aston Martin.
See this arm here? Now open the top and inside are your defense mechanism controls. Smoke screen, oil slick, rear bulletproof screen, and left and right front wing machine guns. Now this one I'm particularly keen about. You see the gear lever here? Now if you take the top off, you'll find a little red button. Whatever you do, don't touch it.
No, why not?
Because you'll release this section of the roof and engage and fire the passenger ejector seat. Whoosh.
Ejector seat? You're joking.
I never joke about my work, 007.
Number 2. Come along with me, we'll take a dive. Better than TV, I hope No matter how much class you have, the coolness level always comes out on top. And the DeLorean is one of the coolest movie cars just for one simple reason. It can travel through time. I mean, there are very, 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 very few things that can top that. No, in fact, there's only one thing that can top that, but we'll get to that a little later. You know, sometimes just the simplest reasons for things can have such a humongous impact on movie history. I mean, do you guys know why Robert Zemeckis wanted to use the DeLorean to be the time machine? It's because he wanted that joke where the farmers, when the time machine first arrives and crashes into the barn, the farmer looks at it and they think it's a spaceship, and they wanted those cool doors that open like this. That was the only reason they wanted to use the DeLorean, because that was the only car at the time that did that. And because of that little choice, just to make this car a time machine, you get one of the coolest movie cars in history. And if it wasn't cool enough, like it could travel through time, which it is, but if it wasn't cool enough, after the second movie, it gets an upgrade in Mr. Fusion, and it can fly! Win! A flying time machine. Wow. Just make sure that you have enough plutonium or Mr. Fusion on hand, and don't run out of gas. I don't know what it is, whether it's the fact that it can fly, or it has those really cool doors, or the flex capacitor in back. I don't know why it makes it such a cool car. But wait, it's all of those things. In any case, the DeLorean time machine from Back to the Future is the ultimate way to travel through time, and is the ultimate time travel machine.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style? Besides, the stainless steel construction made the flux dispersal. Look out!
Now, once again, before we get to my number one, we'll take a quick stop for this commercial break. Hello, my name is Paul Smike. And here we are in the kitchen, filled with many useful utensils. Here we have the whisk, which is used for whisking things. Here we have the ice cream scoop. It has its uses. We have a meat hammer. This is used for taking care of family members and getting on the nerves. And also, apparently good for hammering meat. This thing, I don't even know what it's called. I just use it to spray it at people. But very few kitchen utensils have the effect and importance as the candle. The candle. Now, even though its name is self-explanatory and this is very simple in nature, it is an essential item to the kitchen household. If it wasn't for the candle, you wouldn't be able to have corn. You wouldn't be able to have that spaghetti sauce that your mother loves. You wouldn't be able to have the deep brown beans that your father loves but sticks up the house. And you wouldn't be able to have clover leaf pink salmon. The can opener will always have a place here in kitchen history. However, something has come, something terrible, something expensive, something so bloody pointless. Electric can openers. What's the bloody point? I intend to find out how a catastrophe like an electric can opener, a product, didn't need to be electric. The can opener was fine, and why? Why did it get made?
It all started with, you're gonna change my voice, right?
Voice, he won't sound anything like you.
Okay. It all started with some of my investors and coworkers. We couldn't think of any new ideas, which wasn't new, but we wanted... one of my employees had the idea, why not instead of making something new, we'll take something old and just make it electric. People will buy it. I should have said no right then and there. I should have stopped the madness. There's no reason the can opener should be electric. There's no reason at all. It was fine the way it was. They even modified the normal can opener so you didn't cut the fingers on the side of the can.
Dude, the electric can opener is like the coolest thing ever. I mean, you put the can in there and you don't even have to touch it, man. It's awesome. I mean, I can't really touch it because I have no idea how the thing works, but it's cool. It's electric. Ah!
The electric can opener ruined my life.
How did it ruin your life, Gary?
My cousin, he liked to hike in the mountains. And he loved beans. That's like all he would eat. One time he says, you know what? I'm going to bring my electric can opener up to the cabin. Why not? So he goes up by himself with the electric can opener. And there's a blizzard. And the power goes out. He had plenty of candles, plenty of ways to keep warm. But all he had was beans to eat. And he couldn't get into the cans. He couldn't get into the cans. Because there was an electric can opener. And if he'd just taken a regular can opener, that wouldn't have happened. He wouldn't have starved to death. He would have just been killed by that blizzard. That's a better way to go.
The electric can opener has no place here. Some people might say, well, it's for the older people who can't afford to turn a can opener. But by the time you can get a can on this can opener, they're bloody well dead. Be sure to watch the electric can opener, What is the Bloody Point? To see more from me, Paul Smike. And the number one movie car is...
Come along with me, we'll take a dive. Better than TV, I hope
In the movie world, no car has ever been as slick or as powerful, as cool, or as intimidating as the Batmobile.
Which one?
Well, the two favorites, of course, would be the one from Tim Burton's Batman that came out in 1989, and of course the ones in Christopher Nolan's Batman films that was also called the Tumbler. Well, you know, I really don't have to choose here because they're both technically the Batmobile. On the one hand, you have the slick, gothic, and intimidating nature from Tim Burton's Batman movie. This car feels like Batman, and the way it looks and moves, it makes it a legendary car. And then there's the Tumbler, a total beast of a machine that could tear through any of these other cars like they were tinfoil.
Yes! There he is, Doc! Let's land on him. We'll cripple his car.
We're in a DeLorean. He ripped through us like we were tinfoil.
I think the cop in Batman Begins said it best.
He is in a vehicle.
Make it color.
It's a black tank.
This car is a powerhouse of a machine, and it has a very cool and new design to it. So it comes down to whatever floats your boat, or drives your car. Do you prefer the slick, dark, legendary nature of Tim Burton's Batman? Or do you prefer the extremely cool powerhouse from Nolan's? Well, thankfully, we live in a world where we can have both. But when it really comes down to it, if you think of every car in the movie world, if you could drive one of them, which car would you want to drive? I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm pretty sure everyone's answer is the same. They would want to drive the Batmobile. As long as it wasn't the Batmobile from Batman and Robin. That one sucked. And so, the number one automobile in movie history is the one that belongs to the Dark Knight detective, the Batmobile.
Where are we going?
Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my list, and join me in my next movie top 5. So I've had a top 5 movie gadgets, and now a top 5 movie cars. I should go for something that's not so technology. So my next top 5 will be a little more medieval. So thanks for watching again, and be sure to put your suggestions below for the top 5 movie sword fights. See you around.
Be sure to check out more of my other videos on my channel, and wait for more coming soon.